We got a lot today. I mean, it's already 3:45. We want to try to do this session pretty quick. Wish we had a little bit more time, but we don't. So we can't go long tonight because of the room. They need it at 5. So we have to. Yeah. That's okay. We don't want to overwhelm you guys anyways, right? We want to take action. So what we're going to do right now is...
We're all invited, apparently.
Yeah. Free drinks, free food, no big deal. Tell them I sent you. Ralph Burns is my name. So let's do this. Okay, so we're going to go through creating an ad, and we're going to touch on the ad creation, the ad creative, the targeting. You guys know we can only do so much, and also some bidding stuff. We're just going to go through the whole process and create it. Who wants to be the guinea pig? Who wants to be the guinea pig, create an ad?
Who here has created an ad in Facebook? Raise your hand.
Okay. Who wants to...
Who here has not?
Okay. Right. Who here has an idea of a lead magnet or an ad that we want to maybe try? Want to try something?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, tell us about what do we got?
Let me get up my notes real quick. So I've got a couple of lead magnets.
We're going to use the regular ad manager. Now, the ad manager, we're just going to, that's what we're going to use. Once you get more advanced, we use the Power Editor in most of our ad creation, just to let you guys know that. But it's, for what we're teaching right now, it doesn't matter for what we're teaching right now. This is the core principles, okay? That's really when you start getting more ninja on your placement and your targeting, you can use the Power Editor, but we're going to use this right now. So let's see, what do you want to accomplish?
So I sell, as you know, I sell like YouTube SEO training.
He sells YouTube SEO training, search engine optimization. He's a YouTube expert, and he's got a big audience, 85,000, right? Is your email list?
Email list, yeah.
About 85,000 email list. Okay.
And so I want to create a YouTube funnel. And so the lead magnet that I think I want to start with is like a YouTube SEO checklist. It's like, I haven't come up with the points yet, I need to go through and find out it, but let's just hypothetically say the 12 step SEO checklist. Like we miss one of these steps.
All right, so we're going to use increased conversions for the objective. Okay, guys, this is the objectives. When you go in here, create an ad, send people to your website. This is what Facebook calls like clicks to website is the objective. Increase conversions. In most cases, we are using this. Some cases we find starting out with send people to your website can be better if it's a new campaign. But we're finding over time Facebook's been improving, getting better and better and better, and the increased conversions to your website has actually been working really well. So boost your posts. If you're going to select this is when you're going to actually, for example, if I was going to select boost my post, I might go to Perry Marshall, and it's going to let me pull down any recent post that's already on my Facebook page. Okay? But we're not going to do that. We're going to do increased conversions on your website. If we go down here, we've got get app installs. Okay, this is a big thing right now, guys. We're going to be, one of our friends, Dennis Yu, is actually doing a 1 million a month, or 10, what was it? A lot. 10 million a month? I think it was 10. It was at least $1 million a month test with Facebook right now on app installs. And we're going to be collaborating. He's going to give us a lot of the inside, really cool stuff. But right now, this is a big deal, especially if you can create an app, a free app, and then have in-app purchases. So always be thinking about, when you're thinking about your why and your long-term vision, this is us. This is one of our down-the-road type of things. But that's a big thing. Facebook wants to really push that. 70% of the people on Facebook are on mobile, okay? Increase engagement on your app, similar. Reach people near your business, that's a local business ad. Attendant, these event ads can be good. Facebook offers, they can be good for the right thing too, and get video views. So I'm not going to go off on that, but there's some reasons you'll want to do get video views too. But for now, 80-20 principle, increase conversions on your website is going to be the one you're going to probably use most of the time. So we're going to use that. Click on that, and now we have to select a URL. Do you got a URL? We can just pull your home. Let's put your home page in.
Yeah, it's frontlinemarketer.com.
Okay.
And each one of these objectives has its own place, but for today, we're really just, this is 90-10 Facebook marketing. I mean, in our coaching and our clients, we have lots of different strategies for each one of these. This would be the one that you would use if you were just promoting content like what Molly was talking about, boost your post typically, but then you'd have a conversion page like a thank you page, so that conversion page so you could actually track We'll show you how to set that up as well. But website conversions is the most common one we use.
So then they're going to ask you to create, select a conversion goal. So we'll talk about 80-20 funnel lead. We'll just use this one. In your case, you might want to create a new one, right? If we were to create a new one, we could just hit this plus mark right here, create new tracking pixel. If I do that, watch what happens. What I can do now is choose a category. We're going to call it lead. We got checkouts, registrations, leads, key web page views, adds to cart, other website conversions. We'll call this leads, okay? And then we're going to call it, we're not going to name it right now, but that's what we could do. So we're going to use existing in this case. We're going to hit continue. So if you got your computers, feel free to follow along right now. I think that's going to be the best way to do this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you haven't even if you've run hundreds of ads, just go through this, the whole sort of step by step, because it's really going to help you.
So if you've never created an ad, Facebook.com, pull up your, Facebook.com, probably the easiest way would be /advertising. If you do have an ads, what's that? Facebook.com/advertising. If you've got an ads account, just go into your ads manager and click create an ad. So, does anybody need help? If anybody needs help, holler, and Titus, Michael, or Ralph can help you out here. Okay? Scott, were you raising your hand over there? No. Okay. So, now, you don't have to use website conversions. If you guys want to if you want to amplify a blog post, if you haven't decided on your lead magnet yet, pick a blog post, pick a recent podcast episode to drive traffic to, and then you're going to know that you're going to retarget them back into your lead magnet, okay, or back into your webinar. So we're going to, so if that was the case, then you would choose, let's go back. If you don't have that yet, you can just select send people to your website. Then you don't have to choose a conversion pixel. So to keep it simple right now, you might select send people to your website, you guys, as the goal. Or if you've got a post on your Facebook page, an existing one, select boost post, and then just select one of your recent posts. Cool? All right, cool. So what was that website again?
Frontline marketer.
Can I just add something on conversion pixels? If you're creating a conversion pixel for the first time, there's I don't know how many of them there are, but there's really the leads, registrations, adds to cart, and checkouts. Then there's also key page views. So think of each one of those pixels as like 5 different steps in your funnel. So for example, we're running campaigns for a client where we're going for webinar registrations in one campaign, but a lead and a sale in another campaign. So to keep things straight, we try to use the pixel name that makes the most sense. So for us, webinar or registration pixel. Then you name it that so you keep it straight. Lead is like an opt-in, name and email address. Key page views, sometimes we'll put a pixel on the landing page too. It's a whole other sort of advanced strategy, so you can use that one for anything. Adds to cart, let's say they go from an opt-in to a tripwire, and then maybe they go to a shopping cart page, and then they get a checkout at the end. So the add to cart would be that middle step, so you can actually measure cart abandonment. And then you can target those people through website custom audiences, all those sorts of things. But it'll tell you which one of your ads is actually going all the way through your funnel. But for the purposes today, just leads is probably just real simple.
But if we don't have a pixel,
Left, right. Go ahead.
so if we don't have a pixel, it's not going to let us do that now. So we just skip that.
Yeah, just use clicks to website as your objective. Then you don't have to worry about it, for sure. And so that's one of the things that's kind of a bummer with Facebook. They've only got the 6 categories, 6, whatever it is. They've only got, and so it's kind of a bummer for e-commerce, big time actually. I don't know when they're going to fix that and create a lot more, but it sucks because you can't create really for specific products. It's tough. But Facebook, I think they're going to improve on it. I don't know how long it's going to take, but they've got a lot of people in the e-commerce space. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start with audience, okay? So let's go ahead and start with audiences. And in this situation, with your research, what was your number one target audience?
Yeah, it's actually, it's males between 30 and 50.
Okay. 30 and 50. All right, so let's just do US only right now for now.
Yeah.
But assume okay, let's just do US to keep it simple. And how about interest?
I guess we could go with a couple I just found just in the video marketing space as well. So James Wedmore.
Okay. I know.
And you got a guy called Jeff Johnson.
Okay. He's not coming up actually.
In that case, there's a fan page called YouTube Marketing Services, but I don't know how effective that's going to be. It didn't look. They used Instant V2 Interaction.
Okay, that's okay. We'll just use, for now, we're going to use James Wedmore. Now, let's say, for example, we're going to do a little bit of targeting messing around here. So right now, he's got James Wedmore, 30 to 50. And if you look over here, we've got 16,800. Okay, where it's highlighted down here. That's the potential reach. That's a pretty small audience. Okay? I probably want to, that's your... Sure.
Yeah. I mean, just for sake of this example, we could, do people like Frank Kern, digital marketer.
So let's actually, I want to show something before we do that. Let's do this. Let's say, let's find a broad audience called, let's say, YouTube SEO. I didn't do it. Marketing. Darn it. Video marketing. Okay, so, dang it, that's not very big. Let's see here.
Yeah, I was having difficulty finding an audience for this one.
Yeah, I'm looking for a large one just to show kind of an example. Let's just do this. Because people that want your stuff want social media marketing. So if you just select social media marketing, right? We've got 660,000. Let's just go up. To be honest with you, I think 50. Yeah, you could go up a little higher even, but let's just go to 55. Just for, what's that?
For me,
Yeah.
because I do SEO, so it's just anyone that finds the keywords. But I looked through the demographic, and it was between about 30 and 50 men.
So for this case, we're going to use all just because I want to show you guys something here. Some overlaying. So, come on. It's loading for some reason.
No problem.
Come on.
That's what's really cool about a tool called Megaphone, by the way. It's like lead pages you create capture pages, but it actually shows you the demographic of the people that are coming through. Whereas like lead pages you can't find without it. Tell you male, female, where they're from, that kind of stuff.
You just install like some code, John?
No, it's actually just built into Megaphone. Megaphone's just another website building platform. And it's all built in. Just like lead pages tracking, it's just more advanced tracking. It shows you more demographic stuff.
Okay, so Facebook sucks, so it's not letting me load the number here, which is important. So I'm just going to reload, which is it's frustrating because if you reload luckily we haven't put that much in. If you put a bunch of stuff in, like ad copy and creative, you'd lose it all. That's one reason why sometimes the Power Editor can be good. So 740,000 people. Social media marketing isn't a Facebook page. It's kind of like when Molly earlier said digital marketing, right? Internet marketing sucks because it's easier. It's a lot better to target like an authority, an expert in that space. But in this situation, let's say we've already tapped out James Wedmore, Frank Kern, all the different people in your space, right? And we might do something like this. We'll choose a custom audience. And let's do buyers over 18. Well, let's do right here. How about? No, a little lower. Lookalike right here. This will be perfect. What? Oh, that's Australia. Right here. So we're going to do this one here. So in this situation, we have lookalike US 1%. It just means it's just their level of lookalike, okay? US basically 80-20 book opt-in step 1. So this means they bought. No wait, is this leads?
So you're taking a really long, like 740,000 740,000 for an audience is a big audience. You could drive traffic to that, absolutely. It's not enormous. An enormous audience would be like 5, 6, 4 million, 3 million. That's way too big. I think our ideal size audience is anywhere between 50,000 on the low end and 1.5 to 2 million on the high end. So the sweet spot is, for me personally, and I think this is different from Ollie. I mean, they've got a different business model, but pulling over 12 or 15 different industries, what really is a good size audience is probably in the 100,000 to 200,000.
And then,
Or maybe even less.
and
So
the key,
it's a good size start.
And
So, just so happens, what happens here is that you're taking this really broad audience, but this lookalike audience right here, we can show how we create it, is based on a pixel firing for an opt-in. So what we did is we took our conversion pixel, which has been firing for 6 months, and then created a lookalike audience. He's going to show you how to do it right here.
see up here, if you're in your audiences here on the right side, create audience. I'm going to click on lookalike audience right here, and watch what happens. You can't really read this probably in the back, but it says source. Choose a custom audience, conversion tracking pixel, or a Facebook page. So you can now, Facebook will take the data from a custom audience, right? And we know a custom audience can just be visitors that land on a specific page. So in this situation, we're going to take only visitors that land on that thank you page. So we know they've converted, right? So, or we can actually use a conversion tracking pixel, which is pretty awesome too. So we can create a lookalike audience, an entirely new, unique audience with similar likes, interests, and behaviors as our buyers or as our leads. And then Facebook will create a new audience, if it's in the US, of about 2.1 million, okay? Like 18 to 65 or whatever, okay? The full US. 2.1 million, that's big, right? If you just target that lookalike audience, in most cases it's gonna be too broad. Kind of like just general social media marketing, it's probably gonna be too broad. However, so we create that, and then it creates that list of about 2.1 million. So if you go back here, let's go ahead and take out social media marketing now, and all we have is lookalike. It's 1.4 million because we've got age 30 to 55, right? So it's about 1.4. If I went all age ranges, it would be about 2 million people. Too broad though, we're not gonna do good there. But now, if we take an audience like social media marketing, so like I said, we've now kind of exhausted our really core audiences, James Wedmore's, Ryan Dice's, Frank Kern's, stuff like that. We're trying to scale out bigger, so we target something like maybe social media marketing in general, video marketing. But instead of just that, we're gonna, which is, if we exit out of here, it's 740,000. We're gonna overlay that with our buyer list, one of our lookalike audiences, right? So, let's do.
So you can create a lookalike audience based on a couple of different things. This is a game changer as far as tactics go. You can create a lookalike audience based on a conversion pixel firing, meaning, all right, I want people that look like the people who just opted in.
So,
Right? That's pretty good. You want those people, right? Or let's say you've got a really large list. You've got 80,000 people on your list in Aweber or Infusionsoft, or let's say it's 10,000. Let's say it's 2,000. You can upload them as a custom audience into Facebook. These are your buyers, let's say, or your leads. And then you create a lookalike audience that looks exactly like them. And then you take a big interest like this, social media marketing, video marketing, overlay. So now you've got the interest of social media marketing, but you've got the overlay of what your ideal buyer looks like. Now you've created a ninja killer audience.
now, I want to touch on something more that Ralph talked about earlier. He talked about in some cases 50, 100,000, all the way up to 1.25 or 1.5 million as audiences can be good. So, in the case that it's good is in this. So for example, in this case we got 740,000, right? 740,000 in a certain campaign with certain audiences might be a perfect audience size. But in this case, it's not. It's probably going to be horrible because social media is too broad. However, if we took like our 5 best interests, Frank Kern, Ryan Dice, James Wedmore, and we all had them in one ad set, like this, one ad, and then it added up to 740,000. And then we let Facebook optimize the bidding based on conversions, optimize conversion-based OCPM bidding, and we had 740,000. Then it would probably be a good audience. So we can combine audiences that we already know are proven to kind of test and see how their algorithm works and see if we get better pricing. They'll go out and find your type of buyer. That's what they'll do. And a lot of times it takes a few days to kick in. We'll get into that bidding just a little bit more here in just a second. But
Like the example we used from I guess it's a couple hours ago, but I had a killer group with Infusionsoft. So I went in the audience insights and I found Marketo, HubSpot, Hootsuite, right? So I just took those 3, pulled them into an ad right here, and then for those I actually overlaid a conversion pixel lookalike audience.
was it Hootsuite? No, it wasn't.
It was
CRM.
Hootsuite.
It was Hootsuite.
Hootsuite. This is the exact target. This is the exact target. You can see how much it is. And it's
800,000.
Yeah. So it's a big audience.
Now, if you overlay it,
Can I just clarify something very quickly?
yep.
If you do an overlay audience, is that in addition to that interest, or does it create sort of a subset? Is people who match both?
People will match both.
Okay, so they must match both.
Yes.
Okay.
So Facebook, because the Facebook algorithm is, people, I think, and I think I did this quite a bit, is I sort of underestimated the power of the Facebook algorithm. It's much smarter than we really give it credit for. Like, if you tell it what you want, it will give you what you want. So,
We learned this too by talking to our ad rep.
our ad reps told us, let Facebook do the work for you. It will do the work for you.
It might take a few days.
You have to get some conversions, okay, in order to create, so they understand exactly what that audience looks like. But this is the audience that we created. It's 240,000. What did I say before for an ideal audience? 100, 300,000. You can go higher than that, sure, but we found that's the sweet spot. With Molly, because they drive, a ton of traffic to one business, especially digital marketer, theirs could be larger. So for you guys, it's gonna depend. But all your businesses, the stuff that we manage in the agency, I would say, it's gonna be much more in line with your audience. None of you guys are quite as big as Ryan Dice yet, although probably someday after today's training. But the point is that you might want to go for these slightly smaller audiences.
To create a lookalike, what do you want to start with? What does enough data points to make it look like?
The more the better.
Yeah. You can do it
Just
with
the more, you can do it with 100.
100 on your
Yeah.
email list, 100 on emails that you upload or visitors on a page. Yeah.
So if you have an email list of 80,000, Facebook will match probably 60,000, maybe 50,000 of those when you upload it. That will be more powerful. Those are buyers of yours. It'll probably be more powerful than like a custom audience of 2,000, 3,000. But still, they're both very good audiences. We've just found that the more data Facebook has that identifies who that customer is, the better they can work on your behalf to get you what you want.
Let me clarify one thing too, because we talked about earlier. Remember how we talked about how when you're doing your research, you cannot target somebody that likes Hootsuite and HubSpot and Marketo. It's going to only target people that basically like any one of those. However, where you can overlay inside the ad manager is kind of like we did just now.
Right.
If it's within a separate subsection of the ad manager. So for example, that's why when we had this one, these added up to about 740,000, right? And then we overlaid it with this, or I think it was 800,000, right? We overlaid it with this, so the people are in this audience and they like one of these 3, then it drops down to 240, right? Because this is a separate section than this. It sucks because all they have to do is add a little logic right there and we'll be able to do it in here, but we just can't do it yet. So you can overlay with, for example, this one. If you want to go more demographics and you want to go financial, income. You want to target somebody that makes 75,000 or more. So now we got somebody that makes 75,000 or more, likes those 3, and is part of our lookalike audience, and it just dropped down to 54,000 people, hyper targeted. Okay.
Right.
So
let's say you're in that group, you're selling something, and you know it's a high ticket item. You know at the end of your funnel, like your big is $10,000, $5,000, $4,000. Sometimes these aren't great. I mean, we tested these a lot, but they definitely do qualify and create better conversions, not necessarily on the front end for your leads, but you should have higher quality leads for your eventual sale. So something like that in income, we use quite a bit actually. Yeah.
Okay, so for his case, let's go ahead and just put nice.
Can you export lookalike audience?
What, like the
No.
other UIDs?
You can't reverse engineer. No, we
Oh,
wish. Trust me.
Be cool if you could.
But like if you had an agency, you had a subset of your own buyers and wanted to give it to your client, but hey, these are buyers I like, my set, you don't know who they are, but you can't take that audience.
Never done that actually. You probably could. I'd be careful with that though. Yeah.
Still good.
They would, think about it, if you upload a custom audience to 10,000 people on one account and then upload 10,000 of the same emails to another account, Facebook is smart. I would give them the benefit of the doubt that they're pretty smart. That's pretty sharp.
All right, so let's move down here because we don't have a whole lot of time. So we're gonna get through the targeting. What we did was we just picked a few of these gurus: Eben Pagan, Frank Kern, James Wedmore, Mike Filsame, Ryan Dice, and we're overlaying it with these 80-20 because it's a similar audience as you, anyways. Okay, so we got 44,000 people right here, and let's scroll down to the. We're gonna. Well, real quick, advanced connection targeting right here. I'm going to click on advanced connection targeting. This is important, and this is one of the reasons why step 2 is build your fans and run fan building ads, because watch what happens here. Let's take away the lookalike audience. All right. So we're targeting, let's put in Tony Robbins here because it's a little bit bigger. All right. So now we have 1.6 million, right? But I want to target people, when they see my ad, I want them to say, Keith Krantz or Ralph Burns also likes Dominate Web Media, or so-and-so also likes, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say include people whose friends are connected to
Facebook. I don't think we are.
What?
But that's social proof because it appears in somebody's newsfeed and says a friend of yours likes this.
So it went from 1.6 million down to 340,000. So now you have 340,000 person audience, but everybody that sees that ad, they're going to see one of their friends above it that says they like it. Or in some cases, Joe, Sue, and 5 others like this page. You get higher click-through rates, higher opt-in rates, higher sales conversion rates. This is a big deal. Okay, this is similar to the overlaying. So this is a big deal. The more fans you get, and it's exponential. It adds up really quickly. It only takes, you got 4,000 or 5,000 fans, and you'd be surprised.
So by choosing includes, you actually rule out anybody who's not connected. Because it only says you say include, how did it take out people?
Yeah, so basically it's only people who, it's only fans of Tony Robbins who have a friend that is a fan of Perry Marshall. You know what I mean? So they might not be a fan, but they have a friend that is. That's the key. We call it friends of fans. Yep.
Yeah. Above that, you can exclude your fans too for your page. If you wanted to just go purely cold traffic, nobody who's ever seen you or liked your
You would
page.
do that exclude in that part right there.
Yeah, just above where Keith was. Yeah, exclude people who are connected to the name of your page, and it'll automatically populate.
So there we go, I just did that. And then I added the overlay with the lookalike again. I went back up here and I added it again, the lookalike our buyers. And so now we still have 110,000 people. That's a targeted audience, okay? And so those are the things you can do. So let's scroll down.
Question?
Yep.
Can you go back up to where you have Perry Marshall in there? So how can you exclude and include? Can you just help my brain understand that?
Yeah, sure. So let's say I don't want my fans to see the ad because I know it's something I've already promoted a bunch of times. So I might not include my fans. So in this case, I'm excluding my own fans, but I'm including people who have a friend that is a fan. That's why, yeah. So you get that.
Can I ask another clarifying question? I'm sorry.
Yep.
People keep saying like fans you bought. So you're not talking about running ads where people voluntarily like. You're talking about going to like a farm where people just like pages, don't actually like pages, right?
didn't like the pages, right?
Got it. So running an ad to get likes is completely valid. It's the other kind of getting likes.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a video about this in some of my more advanced training. But if you're gonna do fan building ads, I would rather you pay more for a fan. I would rather you say something like, "I'm running fan building ads, super low budget, and they're not cheap because I'm in the business to business space. If you're in like health and fitness or some kind of like golf or something like that, they're gonna be cheap. Religion, stuff like that. But even for my business, I say something like, if you'd like updates on how to explode your business like my clients are using Facebook ads or something like that, I could pull it up actually in a second here, or tonight at dinner, then like my page. So the only people that are liking my page are actually liking it because they want updates about Facebook ads or whatever. So you're getting true, so what that's doing is they're raising their hand. That's better than them clicking on an ad and going to a blog and being added to your website custom audience, right? Because they're actually clicking like, but they're not on your list yet. So when you're the next day, when you're running ads to an opt-in or a webinar or to something like that or an event to your fans are always going to be the cheapest leads. They're always going to be the best ROI. So because they've seen your stuff, back to that stat, 10.4 pieces of content. So, but when you're running newsfeed ads like this isn't a fan building ad. This is something we're going to be asking for. It's a lead magnet. You'll get fans. It's just like a residual benefit. It's pretty cool. So we've got one of our clients that they don't even create content. They've been working on building a blog for forever. They just run direct response ads all the time. And they don't do any fan building ads, but they've got like 75,000 fans now because they've ran so many lead generating ads in the newsfeed. People just click like because they're getting free stuff. So you'll get fans.
Perfect audience too. I mean, you don't want fans, like we said before, from Egypt and Nepal or wherever you're getting them from on Fiverr. I mean, you want legitimate fans that are going to eventually buy your stuff.
Ralph, you want to you can't go along in the bidding, but let's hit the bidding quick because I want to show them how to use Canva real quick for the creative.
We used to really like per day bidding because it's nice and neat. You know exactly how much you're going to spend every single day, right? Well, we did that until we talked to our Facebook ad rep. And they said, I forget who I was talking to about day parting. Day parting is basically when you show an ad and then you turn it off. Show an ad, turn it off. Show an ad, turn it off. Facebook hates that. They get pissed off. And you know what they start doing? That's right.
Jacking up your prices.
Jack up your CPCs, and you also stop getting impressions. So, per day is okay. You can do per day. Not a problem. But what we found is that there's a certain thing called ads pacing. You can look it up, and it's like this really crazy algorithm, like how it all works. And basically, it's the Facebook algorithm that says, we are going to serve your ad to your ideal audience, especially if you want website conversions, only when your ideal audience is on Facebook. That's pretty good. So, but if you tell us you want to spend all your money when your fans aren't there, go right ahead, we'll spend your money. We'll take it.
But they don't want you, they don't want to just take your money. They want you to keep advertising with them. Okay, they're not out to get you like a lot of people think.
But they will take your money.
Yeah.
They're not going to give it back to you. But the algorithm on Facebook is super smart. It's like the pixel we were just talking over in the corner. Like the pixel is like a living thing. Your conversion pixel, it remembers what happened. It's like, the people that it's like the Matrix. Exactly. So, how we do this now. So remember, the pixel is a living thing. So your lead pixel, let's say you're going for lead capture, is that your first step, and then maybe you have a tripwire, and then you have a main offer. Okay? So your lead, you want lots of people to hit that conversion pixel. Really fast.
In the first 24 hours if possible.
First 24 hours. If possible, sometimes 2 or 3 days is fine. So what we'll do, let's say you're running an ad and you're saying, all right, I want to spend $10 a day. Well, that would be $300 in 30 days, okay? The minimum is $350. So anyway, so we're going to start it today, and now 30 days from now, we're going to put this in per day. My lifetime budget. Okay, 30 days from now. Notice how it automatically went to $350? Okay? So basically it's $10 a day. But what we will do is that if we have a website conversion pixel on the thank you page, we want Facebook to learn what our conversions look like. So here's what we'll do. We will take this. How do I go backwards here? Oh, there we go. Today's the 6th. We'll shorten everything up so that you're now spending what you would spend in a month, spend in 2 or 3 days. All right? And the reason is, you're planning on spending $350 anyway, but you were prolonging the pain. Really. Because you don't know, Facebook's going to take a while to figure this out. So take your budget for the month, squeeze it into 3 or 4 days, and then push all your traffic to it. And what you want to do is you want to get at least 25 conversions.
So you don't have to spend the whole 350. But what he's saying is that's the minimum they'll let you put in there right now for lifetime.
Perfect example.
But you don't have to spend it all. You just shrink it down to 3 days. So they'll spend a lot of it in the first day and a half.
And then set a reminder on your iPhone to watch it in 3 days, just to make sure. Or like in 24 hours. I actually did this. We were at a digital marketer and the alarm went off. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot that. So I looked in and I had 30 conversions, but it had only been a day. I set it for 3 days, so I set an alarm for day 1, day 2, day 3. So day 1, I went in, I looked, I was like, oh, 30 conversions.
Conversion being an opt-in?
Yes, an opt-in.
In this case. it could
So
be
they said now it's 24 hours. Facebook now knows they've gathered enough data. That's all you need to feed the monster. Really. It's 1 day of conversions. So squeeze all your budget in shorter periods of time. And when we do this, we start off, see how this is optimized for website conversions? That's where you want to go. But when you start, you want to start off.
We're seasoning the pixel right now. Okay? There's a lot of work up front, and then once we can get it right, we can kind of let Facebook do their thing. It can be pretty automated after that.
So this is how I would do this. It's not because I love to spend money, but because I want to find out really fast who this audience right here, are they going to like my stuff? Are they going to like John Pepperton? Really? You're going to find that out. Like meaning not likes, but conversions. How much are they going to convert? So we did this for a Perry campaign just recently, and we got 30 conversions, 25 conversions in 24 hours. I immediately came in, stopped this, switched my bidding over to this. Then I told Facebook, let's say we were getting, I think it was $5 a conversion, which is okay for them, for a lead. Actually wanted it lower. But, so I did about 50% more what my last conversion is, and then I extended out the budget for another 30 days for, now it was up to like 700. So now I'm going to be spending roughly $10 a day over the remainder of the month, thereabouts. I mean, your math can change depending on what your budget is. So then we watch this and then come back in and then ratchet down what I want to pay. Let's say all of a sudden my conversions are $7 or maybe they're $5. I can now lower that to $5. I can lower it to $4. And Facebook will go out and try and find conversions because they already know what my audience looks like. My conversion audience looks like because of that first 24 hours. Start with CPC, overbid like I did before. Notice the range was like 37 to 54. I forget who I was talking to about this, but way overbid. Start with like 2, 3, just get all your conversions. Make Facebook understand what it is that what your audience looks like.
This is a big deal. I mean, this is basically, we find this out by running things, running ads. If you go through any Facebook ad course that I've done even 6 months ago or 3 months ago, or anybody else right now, they'll tell you to do daily budgets. It's easier to do daily budgets. That's how we've always done it. We've separated out all of our audiences by different ad sets, okay? But guess what? Things change, okay? This is one of the reasons why I think it's so critical to be a part of a group like this, that you can just kind of let us test and just basically tell you what we're learning in our lab. So 3 months from now, this might change, but I know that this is pretty, the main point is give Facebook data, okay? Get some conversions quickly and then go to optimized bidding and let them do their thing, okay? Have the right offer. and dial in your targeting. And then remember that it's all, like Molly said, it's all about action. It's all about figuring out what doesn't work and when what does, and then going to your reporting and figuring out. The great thing about Facebook reporting is they'll tell us mobile, what's working in mobile, cost per lead in mobile, cost per lead in desktop, all the different audiences, all those types of things. The reporting is so great. That's how we start to really maximize and scale out into different audiences, is we start out and then we use the reporting to tell us, get feedback and tell us what works. And then we can also figure out some of the audiences that are working, maybe we can tweak our message and stuff like that. So, Emily.
Yeah, so let me just make sure I understand this. So when you said, so you're overbidding initially too on Optimize for Clicks, right? And then you said a sentence that said, then I did 50% more than my last conversion. Now, was that for, I don't know what that's for specifically.
Yeah, let me do that one again, because this trips a lot of people up. We tried this on a webinar once. I think everybody's like, what the hell is he talking about?
It's pretty advanced stuff. So,
But this is why it's, like Keith said, this is why it's important to be in a group so that you actually, you can get this stuff looked at, because every case is different. If you start like this, okay, you do, let's say $300 for 3 days. It's $100 a day. You're going to spend $300 for 30 days anyway. You're just pushing it all into those 3 days, okay? Your bidding has to go like this. All right. See how it remembers what my last bid was?
and while he's doing this, you guys, I just want to really, really push this, that if this part is a little bit too over your head right now, first of all, just keep getting coaching for number one. But number two, if you can't do that, then optimize for clicks. You're always going to be safe if you pick optimize for clicks and you pick your own cost per click. Okay, they're not going to charge you more than that click. So if you don't feel comfortable using the optimized bidding yet, and you know you got a lead magnet, you got your landing page and everything ready, you got your targeting, then just bid for clicks and you're going to be okay. And then just you'll start to stay with us, okay? Stay part of our community, and then you'll start to, some of this stuff right here won't sound so much like a foreign language. The bidding, trust me, don't get too overwhelmed by this. You'll figure it out. Just if worst case scenario, pick a number right there, max bid per click, and then start running your ads. No matter, we always bid high at first, because Facebook, just because you bid $5 per click or $2 per click, you're not going to pay that. You're still going to pay the fair market price for that. Okay, so just let you guys know that. So
now, just to answer your question, so if you ran this through tomorrow and you spent $100, okay, and you got one conversion, you need a better lead magnet, you need a better target. That's why we spend so much time on that.
Got it.
yeah,
So you've got to have all that before you do this. But then, let's say I got my 30 conversions in a 24-hour period. I would then switch over this bidding to optimize for website conversions. And I would typically just, let's say my opt-in cost was $4 or $5. It's kind of like when you bid, the range is 24 cents to 57 cents. I overbid to $2.
Yep.
I want to give Facebook enough leeway, because the conversions, let's say I've got $4 conversions that I'm getting right now, I would put in like $6 here because I'm giving them more leeway. It's the same strategy in CPC bidding. Always overbid to start, okay, when you're starting that. Always overbid just a little bit on what you want your target conversion to be. And what you'll find is that it'll probably be lower than your original conversion, because they're delivering it because they're now smarter. Does that make sense to
It
everybody?
makes perfect sense, yeah.
Okay, good.
let's name the ad set real quick. Just show them our name and get that.
How come you guys aren't using the automatically optimize your bid if all their other optimization is so good as they say? Why give them a target bid conversion rather than use their optimization right above that?
Say that again?
Why don't you go right to optimize
Right there, yeah.
conversions instead of doing CPC, seasoning the pixel?
Is that
It's a great question.
CPM right there?
Here's the answer, is that because Molly and a lot of these guys, like, we could do this for this client, and Michael has done this. He goes right for optimized bidding. Because Facebook's got thousands of conversions here. So Facebook already knows. They're much smarter. If you're starting a brand new campaign, and you don't have that much data, then I would start with CPC. just because you
Right.
gotta give them enough.
I mean, even after that, though, like right here, when you're setting your target per conversion, once you've done the cost per click and then you switch it over to optimizing for website conversions, you're clicking to manually set your target bid. Why not use the automatically optimize?
Oh, because the automatic one is $30.
Yeah. So
You want to tell them how much you're going to pay.
this is still using their algorithm. So if you select optimize for website conversions, your bid will be optimized to get more conversions. So you're still using their algorithm there. It's just if you do it this way automatically, you're using their default. You don't realize what their default is until you set. Well, we already changed it.
changed it.
If I were to reload this page, if you set this right here, this number would be 30.
30.
Yeah. And so
You could try
sometimes
it
though
both ways.
it works. I mean, sometimes that works fine.
Sometimes it does work
Yeah.
because they're so smart. Their default is 30, so we just find that there's a little bit more control by setting it slightly over what our current conversion is. And to answer your question, that's the reason why we do it. So, we're overbidding slightly, but not insanely higher. Like we've got a client that their cost per conversion is no more than $90. If they get $90, they're psyched. So I set it at 120. Maybe some are at 100, maybe 110. So I don't let it, if I did default, Facebook would be like 30, and I wouldn't get any traffic. Does that make sense? They'll automatically figure out their own pricing if you don't tell them. So you have to tell them. It's kind of like CPC. Like your bidding, when you're doing cost per click, you have to tell them how much you're willing to pay. When you're telling them how much you're willing to pay for a conversion, you have to tell them there too, but go a little bit higher just to get enough traffic. Because if it's too low, they won't give you it. And now we'll chip away at that target bid per conversion over time. Like maybe we'll go down.
You still want to give it a little leeway.
Still want to give it a little. If you go too far, then they shut off all your traffic to it. But the point is to get better, lower cost per lead than you were getting on straight CPC. You look confused.
Okay.
No, I'm not confused. I just had a question. So like,
Okay.
I feel, what's been really effective for us is actually boosted posts, but I don't actually know technically the difference. I just know that I pay a lot less per lead.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you could just explain a little bit the difference between them and when you use boosted posts versus not.
We typically don't, but if you're getting something that you're happy with,
Yeah.
keep it simple.
Yeah.
If
Exactly.
you like your leads.
It all depends on what you're doing, how much organic stuff you're doing. In some cases, we've definitely seen where boosted posts has won, especially if it's somebody that's creating a lot of content.
Yeah.
And then you've already created the post on your page, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going in and you're boosting that, or you're boosting it from the page itself.
I boosted on the page itself.
On the page itself. Okay. So what she's doing is, I don't really have time to explain that right now, but basically one of the simple and fastest and easiest ways, and in my book, it's the first thing I explain on creating an ad, is you can boost a post right from your page itself. And in some cases, it's kind of weird. Actually, I've seen a lot, ads get approved better that way too. I'll boost a post, it'll get approved, and then I'll go in and I'll duplicate it and create an ad with more targeting. The ad manager, it'll get disapproved because it's got Facebook's name in it. But boosting a post can be really, really good. In some cases, you don't have, the problem is you don't have half as much targeting capabilities, placement capabilities, and those types of things. So it has its place, and sometimes it gets it quick. You can get it out there quicker and stuff. So I would say continue doing it, but then take things to the next level with the Power Editor and separating out mobile from desktop and stuff like that. We didn't talk much about mobile today, we didn't have time, but 70% of people on Facebook are on mobile. So if you don't have a mobile optimized funnel, like for example, if you got an order form that you're taking people to right after they opt in and stuff, and they're not converting to sales, they only convert on desktop, then I would say figure out something else to add to your funnel. Create amplified content. Use a lead magnet that's optimized for mobile, and then use website custom audiences to retarget them back to your order form. Because the great thing about Facebook is their website custom audiences, their retargeting, it's cross-device capable, which is really powerful because it's connected to the Facebook profile. It's not like a cookie that's connected to the browser on your computer. So you can you can initially reach somebody on a mobile device with a blog post or a video ad or a lead magnet, and then you can retarget them later on their desktop on a different computer. So
We can talk about this more at dinner too.
yeah, so
This is like a whole thing.
you might name your campaign something like this, you know, whatever your YouTube checklist. Maybe you there's different ways that you can name it. You might separate it out by your creative, you know, stuff like that. And then I've got in here, I just put Frank Kern, what's TR? What did I use? Tony Robbins, James Wedmore, etc. OCPMA. You might put something here for your bidding, desktop only. Anything you can do to separate it out from your other ad sets, so for you that you know your naming convention. So make sure you do that. We're not going to go. We don't have time right now to go into the uploading an image. But what I'm going to do is I give you guys one amazing tool, Canva.com. It's free. Write that down. This is awesome. It's how we create our images. For example, this one here is the one I created for the webinar we recently did. I just took a screenshot of these images that were, I think the one that Mind Valley did for my sales page or something like that. And took a screenshot of these two, uploaded them into Canva, and then Canva is so awesome. You can just upload any image, and then what you can do is you can add these cool text overlays and calls to action. So look at this right here. See that? They have all these different things you can pull into your image to add these cool looking calls to action.
Free.
It's free, you guys.
Pay
It's
by
so
the image.
awesome.
It's wicked.
Oh. Whoops. Yeah. Anyways, it's 4:40, so we've got to kind of get moving here. But this is an awesome tool. Use this to create your ads. You can. It's got a lot of the templates. It's got the different image sizes, like for a regular Facebook post, for an Instagram post already in there, or you can just do a custom. So what we do is usually a custom size for the Facebook news feed. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we've got to kind of wrap up here. So let's pass this sheet out right here. I want to. Yes. So what we got here is it's a commitment statement. We want everybody to kind of, the goal here is to take action today. One thing I wanted to do, but you guys can do, one thing I want to make sure you guys do too is, if you haven't placed, raise your hand if you were able to place a website custom audience pixel at all today, or want to but weren't able to. Okay, so let's make sure, if anybody wants to place a website custom audience pixel, we can do it down in the lobby before we go to dinner. Okay, we'll sit at a table and we'll get it placed on your site. Because that's one of the things I really wanted to make sure you guys had before we finish today. So we'll be down in the lobby for a little bit before we go to dinner. And so that's one big thing.
I got reservations at 7, so after this, we've got a...
Sullivan's.
Well, you're all invited to the wedding anyway, so I think you already know.
Actually, how many people can't go to dinner? Raise your hand, just so we know, because we got 25 reservations. So I think that's probably perfect. That should be about 20, because I think we got about. Actually, raise your hand again. Yeah, that should be about right. Actually, it should be pretty close. Maybe count. Actually, raise your hand if you are going to dinner, and then somebody count. Okay, so total Facebook domination. Hashtag TFD. All right, this is a commitment statement, okay? First of all, the who we do it with or for is your audience, okay? Who are you doing this, what you want to accomplish in 2015, okay? Who is your audience and who isn't your audience? Or maybe if you're looking for clients, who are the clients you don't want to work with? Let's take a couple minutes and put, the top 3 people we want to work with or we want to sell to. We want to improve people's lives if you have a product or service that does that. And then the top 3 customers or clients that you don't want to work with, okay, or you don't want to sell to. And then after that, let's write down, if you already wrote down something good earlier today, just move it over to this, why we do what we do, okay? The big why, the real why, not just to make money, okay? Why do you want to dominate Facebook in 2015? And then we're going to put down a commitment statement. So I, Keith Krantz, I probably should have, you guys all have this, I don't need it up on the screen. I, Keith Krantz, commit to dominating on Facebook with my business this year, starting December 6th. That's today, okay? 2014. My ideal customer is, say, maybe it's an entrepreneur, or maybe it's a housewife or something like that. Whatever you want to do, you can leave that blank if you don't feel comfortable with that. Between 30 and 45, okay, age range. Who is interested in top 3 interests, and then maybe 2 more. So basically like your top 5 interests that we did today. So we'll put those down, okay? I will take action and apply what I learned here. Actually, we're gonna get to the commitment statement next. Let's take about 3 minutes to do the top part. Just like I talked about, your top 5 ideal customers, And the next part is I will take action and apply what I learned here because I know my ideal customer needs my whatever your product or service is, and my company provides this because this is the why we talked about again. Okay, and then my goals for 2015 are to dominate Facebook, and I'm taking charge and making it happen like a boss. Okay, so we need let's take another 2 minutes to do the bottom part. Okay. All right, who wants to share their results? Who wants to share the why we do it? Anybody else? I got a couple this morning. Raise your hand if you want to share your why you're going to dominate Facebook this year. You ready? Come on. You guys are shy. I guess we got a couple this morning. That's okay. How about does anybody want to share the second or third part of the commitment statement where I will take action and apply what I learned here because I know my ideal customer needs and my company provides this because kind of what they're trying to achieve. Who wants to kind of share that? Anybody? Dang.
1/5 of the world is on this platform. This is pretty powerful. I mean, you've got the power of like just the stuff you learned today that is more powerful than 99% of the people that are doing Facebook right now. There's like 2 or 3 different things. We didn't teach you all the stuff. Everything in the toolbox.
Want to share?
They just pulled out the biggest.
Quentin will share. He's going to share. Okay.
My story is a story about human rights, individual human rights. And I feel the world is getting more fearful constantly. I don't know why, but it just is. So kind of my big mission is to free people from their fear. And that means getting them to step up to that position where they no longer feel that they're being pushed or pulled or bullied, which is why I really support startups and those people who want to escape from, I suppose, their corporate bullying boss and become an individual who, I guess, can achieve what it is that they really, really want deep in their hearts. So I'm all about commitment and full 100% responsibility, and I think when you have that, and when you accept the things that happen to you just because it's nobody's fault, then you can, I don't know, you can live a better life. So I'm all for the pursuit of happiness.
I love it. I love it. And I like I said, I believe the 2 main reasons we're on this planet are to grow as a person, and everything that happens to you was set out to happen so you can grow and learn from that. And a lot of times it typically takes 30 to 40, 50 years sometimes to really grow into the person you are, to figure out what your unique abilities are. And I believe everybody on the planet has a unique ability that they should be tapping into. And sometimes it's tough because you get stuck in a rut. And so even if it's something you don't feel like you might not be using that yet, maybe you are, are just getting a glimmer of light of what that is, and that's what you guys are doing. I love that mission, and that's a big, I love that whole cause because it's true. And so it's pretty cool when you can actually feel like you're doing what you're kind of meant to do, whether it's help kids, whether it's help anybody. It's pretty cool stuff. So the other one of my favorite quotes is when I was on John Lee Dumas' podcast a long time ago. He has the favorite quote thing, and my quote then was Ready, Fire, Aim, which is a great book by Michael Masterson, and that's always been my strategy, and that's why we've been able to do what we do with Facebook. We take action. It's all about taking, I don't know where that came from, but somebody else, but taking action. Who cares if you fail? Just do it, and that's how you learn, right? Ash, you got tons and tons of clients, and you've got a very successful business, and I guarantee that's part of the reason why, right? Yeah. So who wants to take action? Let's do it.